bit of a wiggle round. I'm hoping you can hear me and see me okay. Fingers crossed. I think I've managed to set the camera up now so that I don't go all laggy and weird and strange, so fingers crossed. If I keep looking over in that direction, it's because my computer's over there and I can't see your comments unless I look over. So today, I couldn't do a thumbnail for it because I haven't done it yet. We are going to do a whale. I haven't done one for ages, and a whale is exactly how my journey started with the Spectrum Aqua products. So I thought, let's just do another one. I've had a few requests in my group to do some more on the watercolour side. My LED's flashing away. You can't see it, but if I end up with a headache, I know what it is. So yeah, I thought we would do a nice blue whale, humpback whale. I haven't done anything like my old style for a really long time, and I am actually quite missing it, so I thought, you know what, let's just give it a whirl. So I've got quite a selection of tools actually. And I've got, I think the only thing I have in here that is not Spectrum is I decided to grab a few of my Posca paint pens, just to sort of add a bit of detail in afterwards. But I've got my sparkle pens because they just look awesome with sparkle. And what excuse do you need to add glitter to your picture? You don't need an excuse whatsoever. I'm just going to see if this is going to allow me to do some sharing. Not that I need to do it now actually, so I don't even know why I'm looking. But if you're new and you're able to say hi, feel free. Let's get it out there in the Tweety world, shall we? Do I like his shape? I think I like his shape. We're going to get some barnacles. There's some really loud music coming from somewhere, and I don't know where. He's a blue whale. I'll go with a blue whale. Yeah, I've managed to adjust the camera, so hopefully I don't think I'm experiencing too much jerkiness, but I've basically had to reduce the resolution, which isn't terrible because it's just my mug on here. It's the picture we want to concentrate on, so yeah. So I'm not worried about him being absolutely accurate. And I'm just using, in fact, I don't know where my trusty one's gone. Naughty me. But I have to sketch everything. Whenever I sketch anything, it has to be done in mechanical pencil. If I sign anything in pencil, it has to be done in mechanical pencil as well. I don't know why. There's just something about a mechanical pencil. I think he's a little bit too thin. I think he needs to be a bit longer if I'm going to do him that thin. Give him a bigger hump. So I've tried to go for some earthier blues, if there is such a thing. And I'm hoping everyone can hear me okay. So if there's anyone there that is able to comment and you can hear me, obviously if you can't hear me, you've got no idea what I'm talking about and you're just seeing lips move. Yeah, if you could just let me know you can hear me okay, I'd be really, really grateful. So I'm just erasing some of the lines I definitely don't want. I'm never too fussed about having my pencil lines show through. Not in my style anyway, I think it adds to it. So I'm not normally that bothered. Can I share to my pages? I don't know. Let's give it a go. So I'm going to bring that down. Like so. He needs a bigger eye. His eye's a bit too tiny. You can probably hear the kettle boiling because Coffee Man has just come to make me a brew. And he's promptly shut the door, bless him. No one minds the sound of a boiling kettle, do they? I can't share in a group, so we should just leave as is. And I'm going to, I don't know whether I can see your, haha, Louise. Thank you, that's cool, okay. I didn't think my comments were working then, but they clearly are. So we're going to have, this is annoying me a bit. That's better. So if you've never used the Spectrum Noir products before, or the Aqua pens, they're markers in a pen and they're dye based. So from an artist's point of view, if you're going to make some artwork with it and you're expecting it to be there in 30 years, it's not archival in that sense, because they're not pigment based, they're dye based. Although my oldest was my whale, I think, thank you, I think that was done in 2015, and I've only ever had one picture go bad on me, and I've done hundreds. So you'll see as I work with them that the pigments are really, really rich, which is why I like to work with them so much. It's probably, I don't know if this is bugging me or not, placement of this. If we go there, bring him down. You don't normally see me sketch stuff out. I don't normally bother doing all this on a live because it's so time consuming. And you get bored. But anyway, I don't even know if you can see it. Yeah, you can. Light flickering is actually driving me a little bit bonkers. I think it needs to be even flatter on the top. Let's go with that and then stop fiddling. It doesn't have to be perfect. There, I think I'm quite happy with that. I'd be tempted to do a really simple baby one. Shall I do a baby one? Question. Comment if you want me to do a baby one, and I'll have to see. Got 50 rubbers in here and I can't choose one. I'll do. I don't want to keep wasting my Tombow on large areas. Yeah, I'm quite tempted to do, I don't know, maybe here or here. What do you think? So yeah, I've picked some earthier blues. Normally I would go for really vibrant sort of sky blues, rainbow blues and things like that. But I've picked, I won't put it down in case. I'm using, a good question, I'm actually using the Spectrum Noir watercolor pad, and it's really, really good. It's 300 GSM and it's 9x12. Generally in the UK, I think you're UK, aren't you? We will work in A4, A5, A3, yada yada. But generally abroad they'll work letter size 9x12, 8x6, 10x8. So this is 9x12, it's 300 GSM. I'm not sure what that is in pound weight. But it's really, really good paper, really good quality stock. And you get 20 pages. I think it's about £8 a pad. So it's really, really good value. And it's just really, really good quality. And anytime I've either used the mixed media, and it has a mixed media texture as well. It's not really rough like some watercolour papers are. And the reason being is when I scan my artwork in, I don't want loads of texture showing up. So the less texture I have, the better. Let me move that up so you can't hear that vibrate every time it goes off. So the colours I've sort of picked are, I've got the teal, the kingfisher and the aquamarine, which are generally the brighter of the three. So I thought, and I haven't swatched these, so they could be absolutely crap. I hope not. And I don't mean crap as in colours, I mean for what I'm doing. I've picked sea green, blue lake, hopefully you can see them okay. I've got charcoal, tan and slate, which are on the grey, warm grey side. Flint, which is a sandstone colour. The sea green is blue on the end. And the sage, which speaks for itself, is this really muted green. So I wanted in really, really natural colours. So when I come to add the sparkle, this should help add any depth if I need any. And the sparkle pens are gorgeous. They do need a good shake up though, because the mica settles in them. So I just need to give them a shake. And then the Posca pens for detail. And I have got masking fluid, but I don't know if I'm going to bother using it because I've got the Posca paint pen. So I might just use the paint pen to add the highlights rather than use the masking fluid. And I've got the Spectrum Aqua tint. And this was what I did, Khaleesi or Daenerys, Dany. This is what I did her sigil in, and it's really, well, it's really gold. There's not many paints that you put down and they are really, really gold. They are water activated as well, but they're really, really rich. I don't even know if the camera's going to pick that up. But yeah, they're really, really gorgeous, but they do need a good shake up and probably a good stir, to be honest. So I have a very slapdash way of applying my pens, and I literally just slap them down, and I'm putting the faith in my choosing here because, as I said, I don't actually know. Oh, I've got a leak over that one, look. I can't remember what they look like when they are down. Now for me, I'm a bit lazy when it comes to these because that's the joy of these, and I will just plonk colour anywhere. Oh, I'm happy with the sea green. Good colour choice there, Bonnita. Good colour choice. I'd like to say it was intentional, but it wasn't. Okay, so Lake Blue reminds me of denim. Any takers on not adding a baby whale? But you can see how rich that pigment is. And we have the sea green. So I don't know what this one's going to turn out like. Okay, yeah, not too bad. It's like a really dark teal. More on the green side than the blue though. I might add a bit more green in there because the teal and the blue are quite rich colours. Now when I come to add water to these, in fact I'm going to keep them to one side. I tend to, normally you would brush stroke, but on here with these pens, because I want it to stay mottled, I would literally just go in and dab, and I would only brush when we're coming up to the edge. Now I don't want to be going over where I've drawn him, and the thing with watercolours is it will only go where the paper's wet, so if it's dry it's not going to go there. So you do have a fair bit of control over them, and because they're markers, you can draw exactly where you want that colour to go. So you can decide whether or not you want to leave patches white. If you draw where it's sort of done this, I don't even know if you can see that very well. I can leave patches of solid colour. You can just do whatever you like, really. That's the joy. I might actually go for a smaller brush. I'm using a 12, which is actually quite big. So let's reduce that to, whoops. And it's mucked it up. God damn you. Ah! What does Bob Ross say? There's no no errors in painting, just happy little accidents. It looks like he's farting out seawater. I'm just wetting the paper with a clean brush, and I'm gonna tap it out. God, definitely need a baby whale on there now. Now where the water's page is wet, I'm gonna have to wait for that to dry and then come back and go with it. Stupid paintbrush. This is what I like here, where it goes, you can choose to leave the solid colour, and actually if you look closely it looks like a little heart. I don't know if you can see that, but he's got sea gas at the minute. Damn it. Not as bad as when I spilled a whole pot of masking fluid over my hedgehog. So you don't need huge amounts of water on your brush. So always have a tissue to hand to mop up any mistakes that may occur. But once it's dry, you can go over the top again and add another layer if you want. Right, just up to the edge. In all fairness, this accident here made a mess. But when I made a mess on my very, very first one I ever did, that's exactly how I ended up becoming the style of artist that I did when it comes to my watercolours, because I was trying to cover up a mistake, basically. That's all I was doing. Nobody knew because I didn't tell anyone. Actually, it worked out really, really lovely. But he's got this effect going on up here, almost like when you add salt, and I'm not touching that because that really does look like a heart. So that's staying there. When I first started, I never used to add the splashes, splodges, whatever you want to call them. They sort of came at a later date, but everyone seemed to really, really like them, so they ended up staying. So we've now got this really lovely mottled effect, and some people don't like it. I personally love it. I don't think anything else needs doing to that. He may just need a little bit of stronger colour down this end of the tail. I'm going to see what I've got left on my brush rather than adding any more. Right, and let's go in with the, please don't leak, please don't leak. No more accidents, please. So this is the sparkle pen. But these particular sparkle pens have colour in them. So I don't know whether you can see that nib. So when I come to add, and the colours are really, really rich. So you need to bear that in mind. So you just use a tiny amount. And use your brush to manipulate the colour where you want it to go. Like so. And that's just giving it a bit more depth. And I don't know whether my camera is going to pick up. It normally picks it up better when it's dry. You might not be able to see that. But it's covered in sparkles. I have got my clear, because if I don't want to add any more colour, then I can just add the clear on top instead. Now I'm probably just going to use this because it's got the added colour in it around where I want. Just a little bit of definition. So we'll just make the top of his fin just a touch darker. It's a shame the camera doesn't pick up sparkle vision. Just a bit more depth on here. And again, just use your brush. I shall probably go for number 4. Is that 4 or 6? 6. And again, just gently tease it out. Now you have to remember that these are water activated, so even when it's dry, if you're to get it wet again, it will activate. It is harder to shift the pigment around. Still not quite enough definition. It is harder to shift the pigment around, but it's still movable. What I might do is get a thirsty brush and just see if I can draw some of that colour out. If you've not heard the term thirsty brush before, when you've got work that's already had colour laid down, just get a clean wet brush and just draw out some of that colour, and you can lighten what you've done. You just got to be careful how much you do, because you can end up damaging the paper. But if there's just a tiny little bit more definition here now, where you can see the fin. I might go in a little bit darker again. Don't think I've got any darker. I did pull the pencils out, so I don't know what I've done with them. I think I've left them on my desk, which is no good over there because I can't really sit and leave you lot looking at nothing. Okay, so I think I'm going to use the flint and the slate first to see how I get on for the belly area, and then we can add, in fact, his tiny little fin here, just there. Yeah, on his belly, and then I'm going to add all the barnacles and things on afterwards. So the flint, which is a really yummy fawny, mushroomy, beigey colour. I keep doing that. Ah, no, they're too similar. Okay, so the slate is actually a bit redder, so I'm going to use the tan, and fingers crossed it's not horrendously dark. No, that's light, so it may have to be charcoal. Charcoal. And I don't want too many dark areas. Actually, let's keep them out, charcoal and flint. So again, just, have we only been going, how long have we been going for? 27 minutes. That's not bad going, is it? That's how easy these tools are to work with. I mean, you can have a full-blown project done in an hour, because I imagine that's probably how long it's going to take. And we need to draw in the little baby whale. I'm not too bothered about washing this out too much and blending the colours, because you're still going to get the spotty areas, but I don't want this as mottled as the top half. So it's better to see when it looks dry. So let me see if I can attempt to draw a baby version. Let's draw one. Let's draw one here, but flatter, not quite as humpy. Little Baba whale. Okay, so we want, he's quite cute. No, he's really, really cute actually. What do you think, Mr. Narwhal? Do you like it? I think Mr. Narwhal approves. I think I'm going to try and have a bit less of a kink in his tail. Like so. Okay. Now he's such a small space, he needs very little in the way of colour put in there. So I'm probably just going to pick two. For the big one, yeah, I just used, I think something I saw of Pixabay, and the little one just copied the big one really, but Dolphins was one of the few things as a child that I could draw without having to use a reference. You know when you just draw something over and over and over and over again? Okay, tiny paintbrush. Still wet, so I'm not going to get any more water on there. Tiny bit more, as that's now dried it up. Whales are probably one of the easiest and cutest things to draw, actually. Oops. I didn't erase under his fin, which I'm not massively annoyed about, but it's a little bit annoying. I'll show you a really quick way of drawing a basic cartoony whale shape, if you like. It just gives you a really, just something to work on, and it's fun. So I'm happy to show you. How's he looking? He is quite cute. Yeah, I'm happy to show you a really quick method of drawing, and let's just do it anyway. Okay, so my very, very first whale I did, if I do it in pen, you'll be able to see it easier. And now I've got to try and remember what I did. I'm pretty sure it was just the most basics of shape. I don't even think it was. And then his tail was sort of a long, obviously I did it in pencil, but it was along this sort of, and then I think I did his fin from there. Obviously you can take your time when you do yours. And his eye was here. And he just had a few it was something along those lines. Anyway, it just gives you a really fun, cute, basic whale, especially for the kids. They love colouring anything like that. And one of my little dicky birds, I call them my posh birds. They're quite cute as well. Anyway, you might not like that style, you might. I don't know. And there's a really annoying tiny little moth flying around the office right now. Okay. Let's do his... Actually, let's get a little bit of sparkle on him. The tongue came out there. Concentration face. I think he's more green than Mummy. He's still getting his colours. Just blend that out. I'm going to see if the camera, once this is dry, can pick up any of the glitter. That baby whale is so cute. My phone's going crazy, and I don't know if people are commenting on where I've shared rather than sticking my camera lens on blue tag was not a good idea, Bonnita. This mottled bit under here has dried really nicely. I'll show you in a minute. So this is before we've added any details. So I am going to have to not throw something at Mr. Coffee Man because he's in the middle of doing a group dungeon.
What's that?
I left my watercolor pencils up on the... Hang on, I'm going to sneakily wheel backwards and introduce you to my gonks. and
no, that's not me.
sneak back in with my aqua pencils. It is really cute. Okay, so aqua pencils. Oh, it's so nice having a room. My new sparkly desk. Okay, so I've purposely got the pencils because I want to add the details. So I need to keep these separate for my snazzy Instagram photo. And I need a sip of coffee. And I didn't burn my tongue. And I need my art liner back to do the eyeballs. Okay, now it's dried potentially enough there. Can you see along here? And then let's see if I can get it on the fin. There we go, on the fin. Can you see that? And let's see if Mr. Baby Whale, there, you can just about, oh, look at it on the tail there, look. Sorry, I'm staring at my monitor just over there, so I'm being really rude and I'm not looking at you. But yeah, there it is. I'm just seeing if the camera picks it up. But yeah, it's really, really nice, and the sparkle pens are just gorge. So I'm going to use, let's use some clear, I just want to sweep over a couple of other bits. Not too much because these will activate the ink that you've put down, so just bear that in mind. But they're underwater, and underwater's glittery, and they need glitter. Because everyone needs glitter in their life. There we go, there we go, there we go. Okay, so let's go with, this moth is absolutely driving me crazy. Let's go with, that may be dry enough. So I'm going with sorrel. Fingers crossed it's dark enough. And I don't know whether you can see this, I'm dipping the end in the water. There's a few ways that you can use these pencils, but the minute I'm dipping the end in the water, and I'm just going to draw his lines in. Dipping the end in the water means that I don't have to come in with a brush, which means I protect the work that's already there. You can probably see the water actually, where I can see a bit of shine on the camera. Probably finding it difficult to see the detail, so I'm just going to pick it up in a second so you can have a look. So there's his, I don't know actually what they're called. Is there a scientific name for it? I don't know. The lines underneath. Now the baby whale is darker, so I'm probably going to have to use a darker colour on him. So I'm going to use Ocean, aptly named. And see if that, yeah, that should be fine. It's actually quite a navy colour. And I could probably use that to help get some definition here. And I'm just going to add some markings. Don't know how well you're going to see that. But just adding. I'm a bit worried the Posca pen might be a bit bright. I think the green might be okay. but I fear that the, let's give it a go, shall we? I can't actually remember whether or not I've used the green before, so it may need, no, it doesn't need activating. These have a slight, not all of them do in my set, but they have a slight metallic. So let's try and repair where it looks like he's farting out ocean. In here, and we're just going to get some, if you've not heard of Posca before, they're paint pens. And you can get fine, you can get large, but they're amazing for adding, let's turn him upside down, adding details in. So when you just want little bits of detail, I'd like to push the camera down, but my microphone is, the arm is right in the way. Let me see if I can zoom you in actually, bear with me. And I'll see if I can do it without breaking everything. I don't even know if that's in focus, so fingers crossed it is. But it might get you that tiny bit closer. I just wish you could see it in person, because the iridescence from the Posca pen and the glitter just looks really, really lovely. Can you see that? It's really pretty. We want another, I could have done with another colour actually. Another sneaky slide out. Because although I have more room, I'm still close enough to grab things. I don't know why I grabbed the gold, so I've got that already. So let's get some on the baby. You don't ever have to draw anything overly complicated to have a go at these. You could draw some of the most basic. I think that's what I love about these tools. You don't have to be, you know, an artist to have fun with them. Okay, what colour next? Having to keep all my tools that I've used to one side. So when I come to photograph, I know exactly what I've used. Okay. I'm a bit reluctant to use the pinks. I think I'm going to have to, pretty sure they're both the same. Moved it out of the way and I need it, don't I? Why does it look like the kids have been at this one? Okay. Just going to get some gold. I've used Sakura jelly rolls before doing this, and it's done just as good a job. I don't like that one. It's better. There we go. I'm keeping the spots mainly to the top half, the occasional one coming down, but I want to keep them all around the top half. I may bring the gold down around his eye. And the gold is what I'm probably going to use. I brought the pink over, but I don't think I'll use the pink. I'll probably use the gold on his under tummy here. Oh, the difference in what he looks like in real life is crazy compared to what he's looking like down the camera. So I'm not entirely sure yet what I'm going to draw the barnacles on with. So let's just check you can see. So that's so far just the, I need to get some more blue on there. I might even pop a bit of green. Not much. But doing this is actually quite a good way of adding a bit of shading as well. You don't have to, but I'm just going to do the odd green one on there. Need to add some gold on maybe. It looks odd because they still haven't got their eyes yet. The blue in this that I have isn't metallic. Why are you not working? It is metallic, I take that back. Because I used the pencil, that's why, Bonnita. Right, back to the pencil, and this one was called Ocean. Dipping it again in the water. I'm just going to do the odd. You need the contrast in the dots. So the last dots I'm going to put on are white. But you definitely need some dark ones and you definitely need some bright ones. I'm quite tempted. I love that little heart. It's just adorable. And the fact that he's right near baby. How cute is that? Mr. Narwhal, you're getting in the way. Might have to move him. He yelled at me. Okay. Again, you can't see particularly as well as I can the contrast that he's got going on. But we're not far off finishing, so his blowhole will be around here-ish. Just some cute little ones. That's all we want. Itchy nose today, sorry. Okay. They really could do with their eyes, couldn't they? They need to see where they're going. I'm probably just going to find a dark brown and do the barnacles in brown. So I'm going to lift him up in a minute so you can see. Okay, so there we are so far, looking really glamorous. Okay, baby just needs a bit of definition on that fin. Okay, let's get some eyes because they can't see. Let's... What are you? You look like a really, really, really dark green, jungle green. I'm not sure it's to be dark enough. Let's find out. You might be ish. Tell you what, let's get a nice point on that. You're going to hear my sharpener in a minute. Sorry, really noisy. I just want a really fine point on there. Okay, so here. I'm not really sure you can tell that's an eye on him. A bit shading under his tummy. In fact, I might do some under here as well. That's the joy with these products, is all their colours across the range sit together really, really well. So you can really mix and match. It doesn't have to be these. Obviously, if you've got other brands that you have or use, you're more than welcome to try it with those, but it's just to give you an idea of what you can do. Okay, let's see if that's going to be dark enough for Mama. I don't think it will be. Might be alright. I'm not even sure the eye's in the right place. I think it probably needed to be down here. No? Oh, I don't know. Does that look right? You can't really see it, can you? That's where his eye is. I think it needed to be a little bit lower. I can't really do anything about it now. Just a bit annoying. Let's try and be a bit clever, shall we? Probably the wrong time of night to try and be a bit clever. Let's go here. There we go, happy now. Yeah. Definitely happier. And I don't think I need to add anything more on that eye. So the last thing really is his highlight spots. Let's make that tiny touch darker. Okay. Right, I'm going to turn him upside down. He still looks like he's farting ocean, which is really annoying. I like using the Posca pens because they are some of the ones that dry as opaque as I want them to. A lot of others tend to be quite translucent. I think this one's going to have to go on my Redbubble store because he's so cute. He's not the last thing. I need to draw the barnacles on him, don't I? He's got to have barnacles. Still end up putting my finger on it. Okay, so we've got the white on there now. We're going to have one tiny... Might need to go in and fix the boy's eye now, if it is indeed a boy. As the white decided to, because the ink's still wet, the pencil's still wet. There we go. Happy now. I think the only thing I'm quite tempted to do, just a tiny touch of shading. Let's go with, no, let's go with the sorrel again. There we go, mix that green in. Perfect. Right, let's get some barnacles drawn on. I don't actually know what barnacles look like, so I'm just going to do, I don't know, random little flicky bit off there. Just random dark spots, I guess. You can, so if I got my fine brush You can work directly off the pencil, but you just need to be careful how much water you've got on your brush, otherwise you can flood the area that you want to paint in. You just have to bear that in mind if you're going to do that. She's an old girl, she's been around a little while, she's got plenty of barnacles on her. It definitely adds to it once we get the barnacles on it. Now Bubby's too young to have any. Think so. I'm not sure how long we've been going for, but we've already got a nice full-blown picture done in not a lot of time, really. I'm a little bit in love with him. Okay, one more thing to do. And where are we going to do that? Do you know what? I'm going to do that right under here. And there he is, all finished. He's rather adorable. I really like him. Now let's see if let's bring my LED light down a bit. It might go a bit bright, but it might be enough for you to really, no, you're not going to, are you? You're going to be a pain in the bottom. And oh, there we go, right, let's pull that away a bit. Might be a bit too close. There, look at that sparkle. Isn't it nice? Yeah, what do you think? I'm happy with that. Yeah, I think that's going to go on my Redbubble store. What does Narwhal think? I think Narwhal's pretty happy too. Thank you for joining me on the live. For those of you that watched, thank you. For those of you that commented, thank you. And I'm going to aim to try and do a live a minimum of once a week, but it may be once a couple of weeks. So just keep your eye out. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and the bell button, because it will let you know when I am live next. And yes, thank you very much, and I shall see you on the next video. Ta-ta!